1, 2, 4. And what that is again the knee, back of the head, and let's say now we're this close and you come in, that's just blocking here and turning.
Classy.
That close. Anything in here but get him back. And now back up. If we're still that close, that's there. Up.
Oh, you're fine, dude.
Big spin. Just everybody back off to here. Drop again. That's where I am so far. I haven't been able to do it since I busted my back up bad. I haven't been able to do much else with it, but I want everything that I do to be something that I do. I don't want it to be. Do not be offended by this. Okay. That form you showed me where you went here, and then you go down and you do a butterfly kick. I'll never do a butterfly kick again.
No.
And I just don't want to train for it just because it's in the form. I don't want to do.
That can be augmented with a ground technique.
Yeah. Like the thing is, whatever you're doing, I want that to be what I do, not what.
The form you're talking about,
perhaps.
It starts off from the strike there. While you're standing, going click, boom, I nail you again. So everything is functional in that form.
Okay.
Totally to the point where you learn concept 1, concept 2. You learn to let go. You learn soft changes. You learn hard changes. It's all in the form, and that's what a form should be. It should be what you would use on the street, not something that you go, this is a fancy.
Yeah, that's what the first 2 moves I do. I go this side, and this is so it's like I guess weaker side, where you have to pull, then right over the stronger side where you can pull as well. In both cases, though, it's just dealing with it's dealing with whatever strike comes in. You know, if I go stronger side that way, and the other side comes in, and I go this, and then at the same time come in that side, going with. Again, same my principles that I'm going with.
Right.
So either come in, heading towards, and again, that way, or going with the force, and then whatever you do with. A lot of things that I showed you, I got a couple more, are where I come in close, because I notice when people have staffs, this happens quite a bit. You have people that don't back up sometimes, and you get to hear whatever, and maybe you don't get this what you want. Your struggle happens, or you go all the way around the loop. And I've just learned to stop that by putting my leg here. And for then, this happens, when this happens, let's just bam, back up, or bam, that one, hit. We knew I did this earlier. Here's what we said. I did this earlier. I came up like that. That's again, and then bend the staff. Oh, that I hadn't thought about that, but yeah, that's what it is. Just get that in. And the 2 biggies in this are from the head to the floor, and then from the floor. This one would go like that. Yeah, it's just boom, boom, like that. That's what it is. And then when I'm here, like that, so it should really block off. You see how I use my forearm to come down?
Is this a form you're putting together?
Yeah.
Cool.
Flow forward.
The ones that we.
Oh, I'm all right.
Yeah.
So you see when you come down to the top, see when I block and use my
I'm
forearm.
behind you.
Oh, sorry.
That's all right. I just want you to be aware of
Shades
it.
of 3-section staff.
You picked a fine time to leave me in this wheel. So anyway, you come in.
Shades of 3-section
yeah.
I was going to duck in front, but thank you. How? I'm going to wait.
Anything you have for that? It's for this idea.
You're taking quite a bit of it.
Oh, well, you know, it has to. If you're watching the videos I sent you, it's all some of the stuff. But what was your saying? Like Pop Herman would go here, and we would learn something, but it wouldn't be like the way we do it, where we do it to the point. It would be here, grab, and then around again. Goes, okay, look, we can end up with this. Okay, yeah, we can. That's a hell of a long way to get around the elephant. We can just shoot it faster and watch it fall. And it's traditional. Okay, I get it, but I don't move like that. I don't make 20 switches if I can make one and hit.
Yeah, 1 or 2.
And to me, this first principle is this. If I had to say what is my staff art at this point, it's this, just that, because it kind of has everything to begin with. One up, one down. My shooting. Oh, I left this out. My hitting. I do this, and helicopter, of course.
But this works.
But my biggest deal is heading, just like right when you lift, I move, like moving my body and angling this and popping it in. So it's like that. I can't do it to my left right now, but like that. Because that can go boom, and then
One of the things, biggest complaints I've had when we've done this with a bunch of Japanese guys, you're supposed to chamber it under your arm. So if you get underneath your arm, you're stuck.
For what?
It's supposed to
what chambers?
For power. You pull it back to your hip, it gives you more power.
Nothing makes sense about that to me because there is nothing about this that doesn't have power. It's not like your fist where you got to clench and make it tight and then hit like that. Hold your stick up. The stick has all the power. That hurts. This should not be about one. The Japanese come from one punch, bang, abe, iba, ulaben. Okay, flow. The Filipinos hit you 50-11 times thoughtlessly. They don't really make a big deal out of it. They're just like, boom, 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 boom. Yeah, have a nice coma. So for me, the philosophy, you can't have both. You cannot have butt clenching, draw from the earth power and fluidity simultaneously. You will sacrifice one for the other. Power lifters are not ballet dancers. And anybody that says, oh, chamber for power, then why use a stick?
It's one of the things that was staring me in the face when you're doing the form, you're like this.
You have to.
He's the first guy out of Kung Tao I've seen do a strike and put it on his bicep.
Protect the rib.
Protect the rib, but you know what? This, okay, to get the tip fluidly there. The point isn't how I protect it or anything. The point is getting that there. Because if you, okay, start from here. Now we go slow. But if you come after me with an arc strike, and I just hit with fire, right, then everything starts. I don't have time to go and make it powerful. I just have to cut that off and go. Or cut that off and then go. Cut that off and then go. There is no time for this horseshit. You must get this to there. And everything else is consequential. This fit me the best. I've seen both. I've seen this, and I've seen what they call the helicopter. And I hung on to that because I see it has value. But it's also 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi, even if you're hitting 4.
And none of those strikes are solid. None of those strikes are solid. Yeah. Strong grip.
And whatever happened, I tell some of my students all the time, whatever happened to just whack the guy? Whatever happened to just hit him?
Underneath limits you.
And well, to me it does. I can't, because he's right. I can't move this. It's in there. Here I can. That. And so I started just. This is traditional, and that's fine. And there's no reason to throw it out. However, I don't embrace it because I don't have much more time on this planet, even if I've got another 100 years. I don't want to.
I like the idea. I want to get from here to here.
Yeah.
I don't want to leave this thing sitting right there. Yeah. Plant that.
Yeah.
And then do that.
Yeah, it's about flow, flow, flow. You don't need, go back to weapons when I say for power. You need power if you have nothing in your hands. You need power, I prefer flow, because I can give power with my elbow without tensing. Remember a couple years ago I said, what muscle do you tense to get your elbow hard? None. Ergo, you don't have to go, you just go, and they're done.
Right.
You have to hit with your fist this way, but nothing else. Your head, your knees, your elbow, head. So I prefer fluidity, like getting not maybe 20 strikes, but fluidly getting my elbow in your face instead of the freight train. And with these, you need it less because the stick has all the power. Even if you don't knock them into a coma, you know, any one of my students has been hit by me, they think on accident, and this has all the power. So the minute you get knocked by it, it doesn't have to be super, super fast or super, super hard. You just have to get it, take it on the metacarpals. Your fingers can't, they're not designed for that punishment. Okay, it's not your ribs. Firing inward with that, like that. It's just firing inward. Pow!
It's concentrated.
Yeah, you're
a whole lot more than fist.
Yeah. So I don't have a need, and also Japan and China are in love with the head-on collision forces. Japan much more so, but China as well. Korea. The Indonesians are one of the smallest races. They're like pygmies. They don't have what it takes to propel themselves into somebody. So they you know, Filipinos say they're about angular. I start with that. If it's power-based, it needs to have a better reason than because if the stars are right, you can knock this block off. I always assume the stars are never right for me. Ergo, I mean, thusly so far in my life, they never have been. So I'm sort of playing the lottery if I play it that way. So I'm just assuming that he's bigger, definitely uglier. You know, but all this, I'm assuming this right at the gate. And then it's, okay, I've got to be, if I can't be stronger, which most people I'm not stronger than, even when I'm physically fit and not crippled. Most people I'm not stronger than. I need to learn to cut these angles, or find these little shortcuts, instead of going Okay, the traditional. This is big for me. This is big for me. This is big for me.
What did, I don't mean to interrupt you, what did you
Well,
have,
don't.
what did you do before, I know you were in sibat and everything, but before Buzz was playing with you last time, you said you had worked with a lot of techniques, but none of them flowed together.
Well, everybody, okay, this for staff. Everybody who taught me something with staff, there was very little that simply, most of it was, hold your staff up. Yeah, it was, and now go low the same way. Go low.
Like,
Yeah. This is the Wing Chun form. Go high, go low. Now we circle all the way around. It is long, but Wing Chun is close. You know, and there is no other part of the system except for the staff where they do it very long and very drawn out. You have to do, you know, these postures. It seems like it was just thrown in there at the last minute to have a form in there. So that didn't fit with me. The Indonesian forms start off a little bit more fluid, and they'll do some, but then they'll do this, watch the DVDs, they'll do a 30-minute sombrado-like form as like a technique exchange to get to the technique. And then do it again. Other person gets a try. And then I'm not kidding you, it is a 15-20 move drawn out thing before you get to the point. The Japanese are kata kata kata. You will not find a Japanese system that doesn't say, oh, kata everything. But again, if it's a form, it has to be something odd. Like Japanese and Chinese systems reflect culturally as well. Their culture is, you know, listening to Japanese, yeah, listening to their language. It sounds like they're vomiting just asking for a napkin. You know, their culture is very, you know, the Chinese, being married to a Chinese woman, and, yeah, they're wearing names, I'm not talking back here, and they prefer not to have you in their space, thank you very much. And their Kung Fu is very much the same way. So that's the culture is reflected in a lot of these forms. And my culture is just wiping it out. And I've come from looking at the complicated and thinking to embrace simplicity. I have exactly 5 Gurus in my system. I'm thinking I only need 3. Because how I move is real easy. It's you know, inside, outside, down, high. That's it. We're kind of covered the whole thing now. It's the same thing with this. So what's up? You're either, if you, it's like if you had single stick. I really do look at it like this. Contrada, meet, force, follow. And when you meet, if you're meeting entering, meeting, retreating. You can follow, you can enter on the follow, you can pass with on the follow at the same range, and pick your target from there. We're done. I don't have any other, like when you said soft side, strong side. I understand what you're saying.
Defensive offense.
Yeah.
This is generally not considered an offensive.
I know. I just never categorize it that way. I look at what I think my strongest strike is, and then maybe a little bit weaker strike because it's, you know, one hand is up. If the hand were changed, because this one's punching like that, that's a stronger side.
Questions so far?
This one is not as strong. If I'm going, you see what I'm saying? If I deliver underhanded like that.
But if you use it as a lever.
Yeah, if I use it as a lever, it is, depending on what I'm using it for.
This is
Okay, so
pulling and pushing, and the power is double.
And the power, again.
You don't need it.
Where do you go when you meet force then?
Where do I go when I meet force and for? Okay.
I just heard you say when you're meeting instead of when you meet force.
Let me show you like this. Do me a favor. Give me what in the name of sweet zombie Jesus is happening with your hands.
Oh, I spray can over here. Lazy them.
Okay. Let's say, I want you to do me a favor. Here's what I mean by it. I want you to give me like a chop like that in the face. Okay, and you was like a shock absorber. You gave me some power, then stopped. Now, do that again. Same thing. Do again, same thing. So I just did. Come in, slowly here, and then I kept you going. So I kind of just interrupted it just for a second, and I didn't go hard stop. Right? I sucked it in a bit. So you go, come again, suck, go, and pull that, and I think that's coming. The shock absorber, and then push it back into you. Depending on what I think I can get, where I go with it, depends on how hard I think. If you're coming in, I will completely, sometimes if I can, especially if you're bigger, I'll completely, instead of interrupting it, if I think I can't even let go because it'll come into me, instead of interrupting it, I'll just roll with it and come in. If it's really, really light, I don't do this.
Is that
Yeah, you see what I mean? A lot of times, come in, give me that pop again. See that little bit that came up? Okay, I want you to do the same thing to me. Can you do this? I'm gonna go slow. Trap it, and then just come in with your other hand and pop it towards you. Do it again. I want you to, I'm saying, I'm not gonna fight you. I want you to look at my feet right now. Here's what you did. Pull slowly, pull, just pull. Your whole body came in from your head, from your very tip of your head to the tip of your toes. You were one unit. Now this is great if you are delivering. If you are not, you need to sink, relax everything, relax it, let that go. As long as I'm holding this, unless you plan on fighting it, just let it go. Grab my arm. Pull this to your hip. I really do this, okay? If somebody grabs me, I let it go because now I'm just gonna, I will, in my opinion,
That's not hurting.
yeah, it's, and your right hand is occupied as well. Now, yeah, you can do, there's lots of things, but I just neutralize your right hand by letting you grab me. Here's my grabs. If I can't hold you, if I can't just control it like that, I really don't grab. So that's what I do. I do that to stop myself, because I did this a lot. And then as soon as you pull back, everything was connected. This took years for me to do. Pull, relax. And if I am going to lose my balance even though I'm relaxed, pull, I step into like this. I don't allow my upper body to go first. So whatever happens, I try to let you drag my hip and everything else follows, which gives me balance when I come in. I don't want to fall out of balance into your chop. So that's what this is when you chop my face. Here. Now, when I pass this, sink everything, you just let that arm go. Completely relax that shoulder. Completely relax it. Now, so once I've stopped it, there's no need to keep pushing, but completely relax it. Drop your weight, relax. Drop your weight, relax. And you're still there. You do not whirl forward. Now, that's an advanced technique. If I see that, I don't enter. You have not been broken, your mind, your posture, nothing's been taken away from you. I don't come in on that. You're waiting for me still, in my opinion. You might be just an autistic moron and just didn't know to throw your hands up, but I'm going to bet that you kind of relax. But if I see the first one, and I do this and your entire body comes up, because when you get that, you control everything. You move them. That's the kind of people I've seen this. If they punch like the Japanese style from the hips and really bring it in, and you block their whole body, floats like a compass. They don't simply do block my hand off. No, I would have hit you. I mean, not really, but I was heading it for you. But the minute I missed, my body wasn't behind it, like that. That's kind of what I did with the staff earlier. Here's what I'm punching. If you block any of these, block them. You didn't turn anything but my arm. You see what I'm saying? That's the difference between being completely connected all the time and never being able to let it go, and being able to disconnect at the block it at the wrist, at the elbow, at the shoulder, at the hip, and letting it just collapse like one of those little. You ever seen those little figures? You push the button on the bottom, and they come back up. That's a really good learning. So that's what I mean by where do you go with it. If I'm going to the inside and that hand's up, oh, you were expecting this. Okay, I'll wait. If I go and your whole body jinks you, what's going on? Oh, you didn't know that was coming, did you? I'll enter. It depends on what your response was. So that's the best answer. Did that answer your question at all?
I just your styles are real similar to ours. I mean, we have Sibat in ours, and it's kind of street self-defense orientated. And just when you said stop the force, I knew you'd flow with it. I just wanted to see.
Oh, I don't think you never really stopped incoming force, but you.
Exactly. I mean, we call it push and pull. Yeah. I mean, if you're pushing, I'm pulling. You know, same kind of thing, and rolling over.
And you look at it also coming in. So you interrupt it, and pass the same hand. Interrupt it, pass a different hand. Interrupt, pass back to the other hand. Here's a really simple. Do you have two single sticks in there?